I don't know, man. Some days I look at this game and I feel just like a battered housewife or something. I don't know what the hell is going on anymore. So this video is gonna be a lot of rambling, kind of off the cuff. I didn't really write a script for this, but Skullgirls. Hey, remember that game? Yeah, that game. I was a champion for it. I sat there. I stood there from the mountaintops and I was screaming this game's name, and I was doing a lot. I was shilling this game pretty hard. And then this update hits, and you know what? There comes a point in life where you just gotta learn, you just gotta walk away. You just gotta say, I'm done. Throw in the towel. When they did the whole Sonic Fox thing, they had the backlash. I didn't like it. I downloaded the mod. I actually made a video telling people how to install the mod. But, I still stood by the game. When Mike Z had his, awkward Twitter chat that got him canceled and blacklisted from the entire internet and games industry because he said very cringy things, I was like, alright, whatever, I still got the game. And then this happens, and then they release this crap. So essentially what happened was the Skullgirls released this update earlier this week where they did a lot of changes, a lot of, I want to say, self-censorship is what they did. And now I'm not going to sit up here and I'm not going to lecture you guys and say words like woke or anything like that because I'm not going to bother with it. But looking at the updates here, you kind of feel like there may have been a little bit, like a company that is well known for, funding this type of crap, sneaking their way in. Now, I'm just speculation here. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know if that was the case. But going through the update here, so the Black Egrets and Parasol, obviously we all know what they originally were, what they are essentially. We know what they are. And 10 years ago, oh yeah, no problem, 10 years ago. But now they decided, oh, actually that's a little problematic. We can't have that in our game. So they changed it. Just changed it to something shittier. This is like the whole Valentine thing again. When Valentine had the hearts, the crosses removed. First they were red and then they couldn't do it anymore because of the red cross. Okay, understandable. So they made them pink or magenta or whatever color they were. And then they went back and they changed them again and said, oh yeah, actually we're just going to make them shurikens. Why? Why would you make them shurikens? The whole point of her character is that she's masquerading as a nurse who's a ninja. Why would you put ninja weapons on this supposed to be hidden ninja character? It doesn't make any sense. Why are you advertising, hey, look, I'm a ninja? So they changed the Black Egrets, so now they don't have the armbands anymore. And then they changed the flag. Even though Panzerfaust back here still has a giant tank on his arm, and you know who he is, and you know where all the Black Egrets are, we can't have any of the imagery related to it. This is like when somebody makes a World War II game these days and they have to censor everything. For whatever reason. And then they also changed the intro to Felia's, her story mode. They changed the intro to that by moving the camera around, and I believe they cut it short too. I don't remember how long it was. It's been a very long time since I played the story mode for each character. But they censored that, and even though the guy's got his ass kicked, that was the whole point, that the guy got his ass kicked. Why would you censor it? And I don't know, man. I don't know what they did to this game, and it feels like this shit isn't gonna stop. I feel like how much longer are they gonna keep doing this? If Skullgirls had ended with Eliza or Beowulf, who came last? I think it was Shit, who did come last? I don't remember who came last. If it ended with the first pack of characters, let me just say that. If it ended with the first pack of characters, I think this game would be looked back on. It would be, very fond. They could have went on, did their own thing. But I think once Indivisible flopped, they were kind of forced to resurrect this game. And now we're feeling the effects of all the censorship and all the changes that they made. And everyone keeps saying, like, oh, the sexy stuff is still in the game, oh, don't worry about it. But how much longer? Like, how much longer is that going to be in the game? And that just really shows why I hate this live service bullshit that they do for video games. 10 years ago, I bought a Lamborghini. Now, they've updated it to a point where now it's not a Lamborghini anymore. They got me a fucking Subaru. That's what happened here. That's what they did. The game that it originally was is no longer, what it is. So, that's my take on Skullgirls now. I'm washing my hands of it. I'll keep Valentine around because it seems like that's the only thing I can hold on to now is Valentine until they change her, until they cover her up somehow, or make her character into something stupid, which I feel like is going to be right around the corner. But that's it. I'm washing my hands. And why does it matter if I wash my hands? Who am I? I'm just some nobody. I'm a nobody on YouTube. I'm a nobody on Twitter. Who cares what I think? Well, hopefully this message reaches a wider audience and you too can vote with your dollar. They already have my money. But if you're looking at the game and you saw all the stuff you saw 10 years ago, that's not going to be in that game anymore. Just pass. Buy something else. I don't feel like they're going to go back on their word here. The backlash, it doesn't matter what they suffer. As long as the money keeps coming in, they're going to keep it up. And there'll always be those shills, those loyal shills that champion themselves for everything. But that's it for me. I'm done.